You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot
right
Box.
into that fight. That is a 125 flyweight title fight. The belt that was formerly owned by Mr. Brandon Moreno. He is nowhere to be found in this one. It is Alexander Pantoja getting in there against Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval is a plus 160 underdog to Alexander Pantoja's minus 190 and as high as 200 on some websites. I don't know. We have talked about this a million times on here. I know Royval is tough. He is a great fighter. I have never been a big believer in him, and I honestly, that last fight was not all that long ago. It was a little over 2 years ago, and I don't think enough time has passed where I don't get a similar result or situation to happen in this one. The good thing about Royval is he's mainly he's a finisher. But I think he struggles against these guys who are really good at taking you to the ground and even getting to your back because this fight last time ended via rear naked choke. And I honestly, Ty, I don't really see. I mean, obviously, I can see it going another way, but in my opinion, the exact same thing is going to happen.
Yeah, I think since that first fight, Brandon Royval has kind of dialed back to chaos, but he still thrives on chaos. I think they both do. Honestly, they're both a little wild. They're both crazy. And in the first fight, he did have some success. I want to say right after they had this long grappling exchange, they stood up, and it seemed like Pantoja was tired. And Royval, I think it was the end of the first round, started picking him apart and winning some striking exchanges. The second round starts, and then he overextends with a left cross. Pantoja took his back, and that was it. I mean, he has one of the best rear naked chokes in the game, in the sport, pound for pound, some of the best jiu-jitsu in the game. So like their first fight was 2 years ago, and I think since that fight he's on a 3-fight winning streak, and they've all been impressive. I think the last win against Nicolau was really impressive. Nobody really talks about it as much because Nicolau was supposed to burst onto the scene with a win in that fight, but with a loss, people kind of forgot about him or didn't really get to know who he is as a fighter. But he's solid, man. He's really good, and that knee to punches combo from Royval happened so quick and just nasty, man. And the Bontarine win was really, really good. It was a very close one. I'm a big Bontarine fan, so he's kind of switched his style up a little bit since the Moreno Pantoja fights. How many submissions does he have? He has 9 submissions himself. So, I don't know. I don't know how he's going to try to win this fight. I think Royval, his best strategy is probably just to be a wild man on the feet. I think he wants to avoid any grappling exchanges as possible. Yeah. I will say running 10 miles at a 6.5 minute pace in Colorado is fucking nuts. And that's what Brandon Royval does. He doesn't even break a sweat. So he has some of the best cardio I've seen. So yeah, I mean, like I said, he's always been a guy, no matter how much he dials back his style, that he thrives on chaos. That's kind of how it works for him. And I don't know if that's going to work in his favor here. I just think this is possibly a matchup that he just won't be able to win, or 7 times out of 10 he loses, even though he's right there and he's can be in close fights, kind of like Volkan and Makhachev to a lesser degree, but I still think he has a chance of pulling it off. I think a lot of variance comes into play in this fight. I really don't have a great feel for it. I'm going to go Pantoja sub. I think he just, it's weird. All his fights, he just kind of moves forward and tries to bully guys in the first round.
Yeah.
Is what he does. He's so fucking strong. And he knows where his bread is buttered. He knows where he wants to get the fight and usually gets it there. But he can hit too, man. He can crack really, really well. I mean, he got tired in the Moreno fight, but then he kind of he likes to find a second wind, if you will, and he was really wild in that fight, but it worked. It worked. So I think Alexandre Pantoja's game is, I think he's at, just like Leon, a perfect point in his career. I think the time is his. Obviously, his last fight, remember, he had that emotional call out of his dad.
Yeah.
And said, "Are you proud of me now?" And that was awesome. Also, if he was American, I think a lot more people would be behind Pantoja. I think he's the perfect fan favorite fighter. I mean, he brings it balls to the wall all the time. So it's, of course, him being Brazilian definitely plays a part in him not being as popular. But This is going to be a big fight, man. This is going to be a big, big fight. I just see the title changing hands a lot in this division, possibly. But, and I think Pantoja can definitely fade, right? If things don't go his way right away.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm kind of back and forth. I could see why people want to take Royval. But I think Pantoja's, I think he has his number. So, Alessandro Pantoja sub, that's my bet.
I'm with you as well. I think the sub plus, you can get it at plus 150 on here. 145 at FanDuel. FanDuel, it seems like FanDuel's got the best odds of anybody for all of these fights. So maybe get on there.
Round 3 sub, I think.
Round 3 sub. I think I don't know. Like the problem I have with Royval is that it just seems like something always kind of can go wrong in these fights, or he kind of just makes these little mistakes, especially like in that last Pantoja fight. I don't know. I just
also remember he got dropped by Schnell.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I just
taken down 8 times by Bontarine. Like, yeah, I agree with 100% with what you said. He makes a lot of mistakes, and like I said, he has dialed back his. He's mentally. I think he's in a better place. I think he lost that fight, and now he's like he said it himself. He thought he was invincible. This and that. The shoulder injury to Moreno was the reason he lost that fight. So he kind of thought he was on top of the world and kind of got humbled. So, but I don't think that's really going to matter. I think he's just up against a guy who, when they collide, it kind of, the edge favors Pantoja. It's really, really close. And I think there's going to be moments where I think Royval could rock him or just, dominate him in the first round. Then second round comes out, boom, makes one little slip up, one little mistake, and then his back's taken. And then the fight's over from there. You know?
That's the thing. It's with a guy like Pantoja, he does and it's the thing I like about betting Pantoja is that he's not like a scrub on the feet. Like he can hold his own. It's just that his strength and what he loves to do or has success doing is getting you to the ground, and then his wrestling and just his technical prowess in jiu-jitsu. He's so powerful with the way he moves. I have trouble Royval, like you said, he's not going to quit. Cardio for days, but you've seen the way he kind of just is easily taken down. I think he has too much respect for his own game off his back and his ability to get back up, because he will get back up. That's not the problem, but I think Pantoja is going to get him down at one point. And maybe Royval is going to be too quick to get back up, and he's going to get his back taken real quick and just neck snatch. I think it's going to happen real quick out of nowhere where we're like, oh shit, wow. And that's it. I could also see Pantoja hurting him on the feet too, because he's a very powerful guy. He's smaller. Royval definitely has the length in this. I think but the thing is, Royval, one thing being a bigger guy, having that length, you would be able to throw kicks. I wouldn't exactly throw kicks against Pantoja, because if he catches one of them and gets you down, it's a problem. So, Pantoja sub plus 150.
You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.